Hi all, this week we're delving into the world of the pound dollar and taking a more in-depth analytical look to see if we can decipher the next key direction for the pound in relation to the looming general election and, dare we say, Brexit. When we look at these charts, first of all we put up the trade or the chart that we're looking at. So in this case we've got the pound dollar. And we can see the pound has been strengthening, and in the last 8-9 months we've seen a sideways market. Now, a sideways market, we can still make good pips, good profits, and again we can also lose because the market just does not know which direction it's going. Once we've indicated the trade we're going to be trading, we then look at the indice we're trading against, or the currency. So in this case we're trading the sterling against the dollar. So we like to put the Dixie or the dollar chart up, the index, to see in relation to the pound dollar where we're looking for long-term trading. We can see, looking at the left, the dollar was declining as the pound was gaining strength. We had the convergence divergence area, and then we saw the dollar hit this bottom area and then slowly built up strength all year. And if we look at the top, we can see where the pound has been just moving sideways with these key low dips. Well, this is good. You know, it shows us potentially that the dollar could be at its key high and maybe starting the turn. And again, the pound dollar will reflect this and may start looking to gain strength. But we can put an overlay on to see where the pound could be moving next, and this can be taken in the form of the FTSE 100. Now, the FTSE 100 is negatively correlated to the pound. Even though it's in the pound anyway, the FTSE 100, most of the companies are derived in dollars, so all their profit, operating costs, etc. is mainly in dollars. So that's where we get the negative correlation. So when we see the FTSE 100 gaining strength, we can see the pound declining. And thus, if we look at the dollar here, where the dollar was gaining strength, the FTSE was following suit, and hence the pound dollar was declining or falling back. If we put an overlay on the BIXI, we can see again where the pound index was gaining strength. This is where the FTSE was falling back. And again, where the pound was gaining slight strength, the dollar slowly pulled back. So there's good correlation charts here. And long term, we can study these charts to see a good indication of where we can get in our trade for a long-term move. So looking at the FTSE 100 in the blue, it looks like this potentially has hit a key level along the top here, and we could start seeing the FTSE 100 declining. Now, the FTSE 100, we need to carefully watch in relation to the dollar, and if we see these both start to turn and decline, then we can look at the BIXI itself. And if we see strength coming into the BIXI and we close above this last key lower high and we create a new fresh higher high, then this will be a good indication of putting a good long-term buy on the pound dollar. If I take these markets off now and I put back on the pound dollar to give you an indication, here's the pound dollar where we started off, and we're looking for a new higher high to be created from the left. Now, we like to keep an eye on the pound weighted average. I don't know why, but in my eyes, the pound weighted average seems to move first, giving us a good indication of where the pound's going. If I put that on the chart, I've just put the pound weighted average on, and we can see the pound weighted average was moving up and the pound dollar followed suit. Pound weighted average pulled back, the pound dollar pulled back. So everything correlates nicely with the dollar itself. So if we keep an eye on the pound weighted average and we notice it close above the previous day on a strong close, then we can pretty much guarantee that the pound will follow suit. But again, we need to just keep an eye on the dollar, because these could be false breakouts. But if we confirm with a breakdown on the dollar and potentially the FTSE 100, then again that can give us a good strong indication that we're in the right direction in the market. Now we can go further into this by going into the gilts, the bonds and the yield market, but for now we're just giving you an indication of a few trades that you can look at prior to putting a long-term trade setup on. This is just looking at the pound sterling against the dollar and the indices, and you can take the same arrangement on all the other pairs. So hopefully this has helped. Any questions, just let us know.